close.
In a world where humanity's last hope lies above 8,000 feet, terrifying creatures have wiped out everything below. When a desperate transmission crackles over a radio, it reveals a chilling truth: these monsters can't climb. From the ashes of civilization, a new kind of survival begins. 3 years after the world fell, scattered survivors live high in the Colorado Rockies, above this safe line, where deadly creatures can't reach. In one of these mountain towns lives Hunter, a curious boy with a brave heart and weak lungs. One day, while exploring near the boundary, he spots a red glow trailing him. It's a monster. He runs, gasping for air, and crosses the painted safe zone just in time. The creature stops, unable to follow. At home, his father will scold him, masking fear with anger. What if your lungs gave out down there? Later that day, Will joins a hunting expedition with Caddy, a close friend of his late wife, Tara. As they track a deer through the forest, Will opens up about Hunter's dangerous habit of going below the line. Caddy, compassionate but tough, understands. He's lonely. He's just a kid. He misses having friends, playmates. Will nods, his expression tightening. It's not just about that. That's where he last saw his mother. They return with their kill and pass Nina, a brilliant, emotionally damaged scientist, testing armor-piercing rounds against chunks of thick monster scale. Before the world ended, Nina was a chemist. Now she obsesses over finding a way to kill the monsters. That night, Hunter's breathing machine begins to malfunction. The filter is dirty. Will rushes to replace it, realizing with dread that they're almost out. Supplies are dangerously low. With no other option, he decides to descend to the ruins of Boulder, a city swallowed by the monsters, in search of medical supplies. Before leaving, Will shares a rare bonding moment with Hunter. They tend to potato plants, fish together, and celebrate Hunter's birthday with the last box of macaroni and cheese. Hunter asks about radios. Why don't we talk to the other settlements? Will explains power is limited. Communication is reserved for emergency signals using flags. Later, Caddy visits for a beer. On the porch, she and Will reminisce about the old days. Their laughter is cut with bitterness and loss. Nina's experiments in the distance light up the night like fireworks. Hunter suffers another respiratory attack. They're out of emergency meds. Will goes to Nina's cabin, asking her to join his expedition to Boulder. It was her trip there, years ago, that killed Tara, Will's wife. He hasn't forgiven her. But Nina is the only one who's ever returned alive. You owe me, Will says, voice breaking. Nina initially refuses. But later that night, she begins building a compass that can detect monster movement. The guilt is eating her alive. She decides to go. The next morning, Will preps weapons. Caddy confronts him. You're leaving without saying goodbye? Like Tara. It's clear she has feelings for him. Despite Will's protests, Caddy insists on joining. Nina's already waiting, and the three descend into the lowlands together, taking a ski lift path to minimize exposure. Along the way, they argue. Nina and Caddy hate each other. Will tries to stay focused. They pass the wreckage of a military convoy. Nina explains her compass. It detects the creature's magnetic field, far more powerful than any known animal. They scavenge supplies. Will finds a grenade launcher. I'm from Texas, Caddy grins, attaching it to her rifle. Tensions flare again. Caddy accuses Nina of getting Tara killed. Nina fires back. The two almost come to blows. A herd of wild horses gallops nearby. Nature is reclaiming the earth. At the ski resort, the compass blinks red. A creature is close. They run. Will powers up the lift as Caddy fires grenades to buy time. They leap onto the moving lift, but a monster lashes out, striking the cable. The impact throws all three from the chair. They hit the ground hard. They sprint toward the safe zone. The monster gives chase but stops short at the altitude line. They find shelter for the night in a lodge. Around the fire, Nina explains what they know. The monsters don't eat animals. Only humans. They don't sleep. They don't consume. They only exterminate. Will recounts how he tried to stop Tara from joining Nina on her last trip. He accused Nina of being reckless, selfish, fame-hungry. Tara went anyway. Nina confesses, I don't have a family. I never have. That's why I take risks. The next day, they approach a mine tunnel that cuts through the mountain. Will hadn't told them it dips below the safe zone. Nina explodes in fury. They come from underground. Will. They see in the dark. They track CO2. We exhale CO2. But there's no turning back. They enter the tunnel, helmets lit. The compass won't work inside. They reach a locked gate. Forced to descend deeper, they crawl through pitch-black shafts. A red glow appears. A creature. They run. Caddy fires a grenade. It buys seconds. They hide in a narrow crevice, lights off, holding their breath. The monster probes with tentacles. Will lights a flare, distracting it. They scramble away. But in the dark, another creature ambushes them. It impales Caddy, dragging her into the abyss. Her scream echoes, then vanishes. Will and Nina escape, shell-shocked. They mourn Caddy, but press on. At a ranger house, Will finds macaroni and cheese. He recalls making it for Hunter. Nina reveals her theory. The monster scales generate an electromagnetic field. If a bullet disrupts it, say, with a bonded material like cobalt, it could cause an internal explosion. Will scoffs. It's a fantasy. Tara died for this. They continue to boulder. At the hospital, they sneak past dormant monsters. Will finds the filters. But a creature attacks. Nina hacks its tentacle with an axe. Fire suppression systems go off. They flee. Will sets a trap. He explodes an oxygen tank, blasting the monster out of the building. Outside, they argue. Nina wants to go to a nearby lab. We have to prove they can be killed. Will hesitates. He knows she's right. They drive to the lab. Nina begins crafting bullets. Will finds a photo of her family she did of loved ones. They died the day I went into work. My day off. She admits she urged Tara to come on the fatal trip. I thought I had it figured out. I was wrong. Will, tears in his eyes. I blamed you, because I couldn't handle blaming myself. Will offers to help. Nina tells him to go. Hunter needs you. If I finish this, I'll catch up. She works feverishly. Adds cobalt to the mix. Charges the bullets. A monster arrives. She fires. Direct hit. The creature explodes. Will, meanwhile, crashes his truck on the return journey. Injured, he runs for his life. Two monsters trap him. He fires hopelessly. Then boom. One explodes. Nina stands at the ridge. She saves him. The monsters aren't alive, they're machines. With programming. Weak to altitude. Alien? Governmental? No one knows. They return to the village. Hunter weeps and hugs his father. Nina raises a flag with the skull and crossbones, signal to other towns. A new weapon has been found. Hope spreads. In the final scenes, villagers craft cobalt bullets. Tributes are made. Caddy's name etched into one. A volunteer team descends from the mountains. In the distance, explosions. Humanity fights back. Against the machines. Against extinction. Fade to black.